So we are doing a Tuesday start to the reading vlog. It's not the best week start we have had, but I'm learning quite a few life lessons at the moment. I managed to not react so nicely to my lunch yesterday and today. I know now what it was, but it was kind of unexpected because I think I'm just I can't eat like a certain type of tofu because of the con I can't pronounce the word, not even in German. Um like because of the things that make it like harder, but it's only this one type of tofu. Everything else I can eat. I don't know. It's a mystery. It's an annoying mystery, but that means I haven't felt good. I'm still not feeling perfectly, but I thought I'd still do like a quick start to the vlog before I read too much, and I'm too far into the book and haven't even clued you in yet. I started Mr. Murder by Dean Koontz. Um, I just picked a random book from the shelf and pulled it out because I had no idea what I wanted to read. And I am now 140 pages in. And I have to say, I was really skeptical in the beginning because I felt like it started rather dull and a little bit boring. But it has picked up quite a bit now. And I'm excited to see where the story goes. It's pretty much about our main character, who is an author, and he has a wife and two daughters, and they live like a nice little suburban life. And then he starts to get like stress blackouts pretty much, and then he gets really stressed because of that, obviously. And then there is a guy who comes and breaks into his home and is saying like, hey, I'm you are not the real one, what are you doing here? And he attacks him, and they have a little bit of a scuffle. And police gets clued in, and yeah, this second guy, which we also get his perspective, which is really interesting. He is a murderer for hire, pretty much, and he doesn't seem to have really an identity. There is definitely some interesting stuff yet to come, I think, because we don't know who he is, why he doesn't feel like he has an identity, and why he feels like he wants to be this author. And they seem to be looking really, really similar. Yeah, it's all really kind of a mystery. And yeah, now we also, like, I just started with the perspective of two guys who are trying to track down the Mr. Murder guy. And yeah, it's starting to get interesting. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I have never read anything by the author, I think. Am I correct in that belief? I have no idea. I might have read another book by him now that I think about it, but Dean Koontz, do I have? Well, if I have read anything else by him, I don't remember it. But I think the name is telling me something, but I'm just not sure, to be honest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing with that one. And yeah, but I'm kind of done for the evening. So I will now go upstairs, do a little bit of watching some videos and doing some cross stitching. I watched The Lord of the Rings again yesterday because, to be honest, if I want to have like a really, really cozy, chill evening, I'm gonna put The Lord of the Rings on, preferably the first one. And it's just, if I'm not feeling good, that movie is like my go-to movie. So I watched it again yesterday because I can watch that movie like every day, all day. But yeah, that is kind of the start of my week. And my dog just really scared me. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of hoping the next few days will go a little bit better health-wise, because it's annoying, if you feel pretty shitty the whole day, which is what I'm feeling when I eat something I shouldn't have eaten. And with a complicated stomach, it's not easy all of the times. But yeah, I will now do that, and I will check in with you tomorrow when I have made a little bit of progress with Mr. Murder. Hopefully some interesting progress. I'm really banking on it because it seems to go like off the rails now. So yeah, hopefully it's an interesting book. let's do a quick evening check-in. It is Wednesday. I read quite a bit farther into Mr. Murder. I have only this much left, which I will definitely finish tomorrow. But yeah, I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an update because it's kind of a funny book in some ways. I really like the story. I really like the plot lines. I like the concept of the murderer who's now like of the opinion that the real Marty, like our real main character, the author, stole his life and not the other way around, even though we know it's the other way around. It's really fascinating. Marty and his family are on the run because they don't trust the police anymore, which is fair because that is the only complaint that I have. Everyone behaves so incredibly unbelievable. Like, the family is like 50-50 with like their believability. The Mr. like the murderer is like anyway and normally the guys that hunt down the murderer, they behave pretty rationally. And then you have the cops and the neighbors who behave like they've never lived a day in their life. Like, the cop doesn't believe our author that somebody broke in and he shot at that somebody because he's an author and he just had this article in a magazine he didn't really want to do, but he did, and they really just like portrayed him as like this really like asshole full of himself author, which like we all know how newspapers are. But yeah, so the cop doesn't believe him anything, and all of the traces of the guy, the cop is like, oh, you bought that because of your novels, because you write crime novels. What kind of an argument is that? Like, it's so weird. It's really, really weird. It's kind of dumb. And then we have the neighbors, because once like Marty shoots the guy, he makes sure that his wife and the kids go over to the neighbors, and so he brings the kids over with his wife, and then he's like, okay, please take the kids like while the police is there, and then only give me the kids back once I come with my wife, because obviously the murderer looks just like him. And they give the kids to the murderer, even though like he comes without the wife and he behaves weirdly. And then once he already has the kids and is halfway to the car, they're like, wait, shouldn't we only give you the kids when the wife is here? Like, I'm sorry, but they have really incompetent neighbors. I have to say it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to read. I have to say that it's a lot of fun to read. It's a cool story. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, some of the people just behave incredibly weirdly. But you know, maybe that is part of the story because everything is so weird. But yeah, we still don't know what really is up with the murderer, and the people hunting down the murderer are also surprised that he looks like our author. So we don't really know what's happening there yet, why they look the same, and why do the people who work for the people who the murderer works for, they're kind of their handler, why do they not know why he looks like the other guy? Hopefully we will get an answer to that. I would like to know that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun and I'm really enjoying it, and I will finish it tomorrow so I can give you like my final verdict. And then we'll start with the books that are on my TBR for the next month, which are these ones. All of these are on the TBR for next month. And yeah, we'll see how that will go. And for the rest of the evening, I will do some cross-stitching now and just chill out, watch some videos, not move too much because it's really, really warm. And yeah, just relax before going to bed, you know. And yeah, that is kind of all that there is to say today. Good evening. It is Thursday evening. Today has been a day. It has been so hot here that I pretty much am just like vegetating. I'm just existing. I'm not really functioning that well today because I mean, how can it be so hot? It's so unfair. It's so late already and it still hasn't gotten any cooler. I have no idea how I'm gonna be able to sleep, and you know, I have to say, as much as I'm against like ACs and stuff, I'm slightly jealous of all of you Americans who have ACs in their homes, because I have not, and that means I have to live with the heat, you know. But yeah, let's give a quick update. I finished Mr. Murder. Um, I gave it 3 stars. I think the biggest problem, like the story was interesting, the concept of the story, but it was so predictable what happens. I'm not gonna spoil you because if you want to read it, go ahead and read it. But yeah, the ending was kind of pretty obvious, like really, really obvious right from the beginning. So you know, it's a good ending, but it is an obvious ending. And yeah, I found it to be a little bit too long, I have to be honest. Like, it has like interesting parts and then boring parts, and then interesting parts and boring parts, and they seem to like switch between one another. And yeah, so I wasn't like that impressed. Like, I liked the book because 3 stars, it's a good book. Perfectly good book, but like nothing special, I feel like, in the end. Which I feel like the story could have been something special, but yeah, it just didn't land the way um, I think it should have. Also, I think I talked in this vlog about another Dean Koontz book. It is still on my TBR. I do know that I have a second book by him, but I just haven't read it yet. And it has something to do with wolves. So, yeah, no idea what that is about. But yeah, I have a second book by him. I don't mind the writing style, so I will try the second one. I just don't know when yet. And I have also chosen the book I will read next already, and that will be Lost City by Clive Cussler, the next Numa Files adventure, and the main character in this one is Kurt Austin. So yeah, I have no idea what that book is about, but it's the next one in the Numa Files series that I have. So I decided I would go with that one. Hopefully it's gonna be a good adventure. That would be nice. And I wasn't really in the mood to pick up a fantasy, so I thought that one was a good compromise. Get a little bit of like a thriller in there, because obviously Mr. Murder is also kind of a thriller. But because of the boring bits, I know that the Numa Files aren't that boring. Like, the politics annoy me, but the action is good. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more action in that one. And then for what I did this evening, I watched Interstellar, which that movie gets all of my feels every time. But yeah, I thought I kind of was in the mood to rewatch that, so I did that, and I did a little bit of cross stitching while I did that. I don't know how good you can see this. I have the ring light on so I can see. But yeah, I have gone this far, which I will put the little clip in that I took before I started, so you can see my progress. It's not much. I'm not a quick stitcher, but I also don't have to be. But yeah, I'm doing a deer skull in the same concept style as this one. So it's gonna also have like these stars around it and a little bit of greenery, but different greenery. And yeah, that is how it will kind of look a little bit in the end. And so yeah, I'm doing that one. I think I now have 6 or 7 projects like parallel. I'm also still working on the cat, which I will show you the progress of that one tomorrow. But yeah, I'm still working on those as well, because I'm really enjoying doing cross stitch right now. Also, it helps me a lot because work at the moment is like not enjoyable, sadly. But it happens. Your job won't ever be enjoyable all the time. It just, sometimes it just isn't, because you have to do something that isn't really that fun. And so cross stitching in the afternoons really calms me down and gives me a little bit of like, slowness and enjoyability for my afternoons and evenings. So I'm doing a lot of it, which it will, slow itself down a little bit once I get through this stressful work era. But, until I get there, I'm gonna do a lot of cross stitching. So yeah, that is kind of my evening. I'm really sorry I didn't check in at any point else. It's too warm. I'm really sorry. My vlogs kind of suck in the summer. I'm just not made to deal with the heat that we have. I'm not. I'm sorry. But yeah, I will now watch videos. Do a little bit more cross stitching, and then I will just try and go to sleep. Hopefully it will be possible somehow. And tomorrow it's supposed to be a little bit less warm, like still warm, but like not as warm as today. We had like 34 degrees today, Celsius, which is like so warm. I think it's pretty much the warmest day of the year for us today. And yeah, I hate it. As probably a lot of people do. Good morning. I didn't actually talk to you yesterday because we had some friends over. We did like, played a little bit of catch up and just, talk and sit outside, enjoy the weather, did a little bit of Mario Kart playing and, just that. But now I'm really, really tired today. But yeah, it's already Sunday and I just edited the vlog and yeah, I realized I didn't check in with you yesterday or the day before that, I think. But yeah, I thought I'd finish up the vlog. I didn't read that much else this week. I did start with Lost City. I am 100 pages in, so I think a fourth of the way, maybe. I don't really know where the book wants to go right now. We have, as is typical with the Clive Cussler books, we have a throwback to like earlier, like I think the early 1900s and the 1700s. I think we have throwbacks too. And it is playing out in the French Alps. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where the book wants to go. We did have pretty early on a check-in from Kurt Austen, which is our main character in this one. They were looking at like a trade route, like from olden times. That now is a glacier. Is that the right word? The ice sheets. And then they get pretty much a call for help because the woman he is with, pretty much, who wants to also see these trade routes, she gets called over to like a glacier because they found a human in the ice, and then there is an attack at the research lab where they found the human, and Kurt has to rescue them all with his submarine because Numa has a submarine and stuff like that. So that is pretty much where I'm at. I don't. Oh, also there's a monster on the loose. It seems pretty much like a genetic modification science experiment that got loose. Because I don't know if it's at the same space, but there is an island where they are filming like a reality TV show, one of those survival shows that are really staged and they have like challenges to conquer, and then if you fail the challenges, you're out. And yeah, there's a monster that kills all of the participants in that, which I think will come into play at some point. But yeah, that is pretty much where I'm at right now. So it's actually really interesting. I'm looking forward to continuing with this one. I'm interested to see if we have Russian involvement or not. You never know with Karastan. But yeah, I will continue that tonight and then in the next week. And if you want to know what I thought about the book, you will have to come back for next week's vlog. And then I have another update for you. I wanted to show you my progress on the cross stitch. So let me put the microphone there. Hopefully it's near enough. Probably not. Let's put it there. Hopefully that works. But yeah, I did a lot of cross stitching on the cat and it looks so good now. Look at her. I love the detail on the cat. It looks really cute. I will now have to do a lot of backstitching and then I will have to do the tail down here. But yeah, it looks so nice. The colors are wonderful. and I love the detail. So that is what I will today do today, because I'm just really, really tired from yesterday. So I will probably spend the day doing a little bit of gaming, and then quite a bit more of cross stitching. And yeah, we'll see. I will probably watch a film tonight as well. I don't know what yet. But I tried getting back into watching films and series and stuff. So we'll see. Also, I will have to pick up the third book in the Dark Tower series as an audiobook, so I can start listening to that one, which I will probably start tomorrow, so I can listen to that over the next week, and then hopefully finish this one. And if I can, I will start a third book next week. And these are all from my September TBR, which today I think is September the 1st. Could be. I think it might be. So yeah, that is kind of just a closing for the vlog. I don't know. I had a really mixed week, but that happens. I only finished one book, which, I finished a book. That is all I can ask for. And yeah, hopefully your week went well. I hope you had a really good reading week, and hopefully I will see you in next week's vlog. Bye bye.